Okay, YouTube. I'm putting a tile border up here because this is how the owner wants this. So as you can see, there was a gap there now. So what I'm doing is filling that with silicone caulk. Okay. Oh. And now I'm gonna take my tile and I'm gonna set it on the ground here and push it up against the wall here. And this little crack is gonna get caulked and cleaned. And then, now that's gonna make a watertight, that's gonna make a watertight, as you can see, seal. Gotta get cleaned up. Don't even worry about cleaning it up because I'm gonna actually grout that next. I'm gonna, and you can see there's nothing you could do about this unless you change the whole piece of sheetrock. See that gap in there? Back there. So I'm gonna have to fill that with caulk too. And then I'm gonna have to grout that after, put some grout up there. But here's the tile. Cause this is what he wanted now. I told him to put regular baseboard, but he don't want it. He wants to cheap out and use pieces of tile and make a tile border. So that's how that. And I got the sink cabinet in too, as you can see. This is a nice sink with a drawer. I think I showed you guys that. It's a little dusty, but this all, don't worry about that. It wipes, oh, I made it worse. Alright, it wipes right off. This friggin' dust. It's all over my hands. But that's okay, I'll clean that up after. So, I'm gonna probably pop on the sink top. And he doesn't have the faucet yet. I told him to get the faucet, but you can see how nice and tight I got that to the wall. Even though the wall is crooked, I got a screw there in the corner. I got 2 screws there in the stud there. I got a screw in the stud there. I got another screw in the stud there. And I got another screw at an angle. I had to put it at a crazy angle to hit the other stud over here. But those are pretty long screws. Construction screws. And here's the caulk tool. Oh, what'd I do? Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this was the tool. Hold on. Put you guys down again. Here's the caulk tool I was talking about. This is actually a newer one they have at Home Depot now. I have a couple of red ones, but I bought this one because if you see that tip of that right there, how big and round it is, that's going to make a perfect caulk line along this tub, all around there. As you see, it's going to make, let me open this up here. I'll show you how this works. And this is a 4-in-1 caulk tool. So you push this little button. Alright, it just worked. You see it's got a scraper here for scraping all old caulk off. And then you push the button. There is a button and you could have a thin caulk line. Or you flip this over and it's got a scraper on one side. It's a pretty neat tool. So you got your scraper there. Press, slide that up, and now look at, you could see that caulk, how that caulk line is going to come out. Oh, compared to that one. And this one's more, yeah, I guess it does. I'm going to do the thicker one because it's going to look a whole lot better. So, I already grouted all, as you can see here. If I get close, get that out of there. But you can see how nice these tiles look. So I actually grouted all underneath that cabinet already. And I grouted, you know, past my cabinet. So I got gray grout. He wanted to put white grout in here, but I convinced him not to. Like I said, this is a rental property. And your grout is actually supposed to contrast and kind of match your tiles. So if you have tile like this that's got a lot of light in it, a lot of white in it, it's best to use a gray grout. And this is what I'm using here. I'm using simple grout, pre-mixed, gray. As you can see, it's gray, and it dries a hint darker as you're using it. But there's the grout, and this is what I was saying. I'm working in here. This is what I was saying. If you could see that little freaking, it's not stuck. The grout is pretty much dry already because I grouted that a little while ago. So that's how the tile's gonna look. Awesome. If you guys seen this bathroom before compared to now, and I screwed the heater back to the wall. So, and see how I got my caulk gun, because this is supposed to be a dripless caulk gun, and I got the handle release, and as you can see. So what I'm doing is, as the caulk's leaking out, I'm just setting it on my next piece of tile, but I have to cut a tile there. I just cut that one. I have to cut a little one there. And if you see, I have a scrap piece of tile here, and it's gonna be nice and flush right here on the end when I put my next tile in there. And then I have to put a tiny little piece in there and a small piece in there. So I gotta make 1, 2, 3, 4 more little cuts. And then after I put on the trim, what do you call it? After I put on the door casing, I might have to put a little piece of tile back here and a little skinny piece, because you can see the line here of the door casing. So I'll cut later with a little scrap piece and stick it in those 2 little pieces. Stick them in those corners there. And what I'm going to do here is, if you see this threshold, you see this line? Alright, I got to fold this, move this carpet back a little bit. But anyways, what I'm going to do now, because I'm putting a laminate floor here, as you can see, look how much stuff gets under these carpets. I'm going to actually cut this, when I put my threshold in here, I'm going to actually cut back under here, okay? So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up the, my piece in here, like that, okay? Get my pencil. And now, I'm going to mark, I'm going to mark back here, on this line. Right across that line. And it doesn't matter if this is perfect right here, because the only reason why I'm doing this like this right now is because I'm going to have to take those screws out and move them back. I got a screw here and a screw here. It's going to have to go back here. But, alright. Now, if you see the thickness of this, it's 1/4 inch. Okay? Here's the flooring I'm going to put in here. Now, this is what you guys do. If I could open the box. Again, my camera's all over the place. Alright, so here's the flooring that's going to go there. It's about 1/4 inch thick. But now, when I put my flooring, and when I cut this out now, and I put my piece of flooring in here, I wish this carpet wasn't in my way. I'm trying to do this with everything in the way here. But anyways, here we go. So I'll put this here. That's my line I just drew, as you can see right there. Okay? Now, when I put this, look at that. Oh, that's the wrong side. Oh. Okay? Look at that. You see how the flooring's gonna sit? Once I cut, actually I might, I can't leave that because we're down here. But once I cut that out, the flooring's actually gonna slide right underneath there. And that's what I want. And then what I'll do is I'm gonna have a little bit of gap because this flooring is actually pretty friggin' thin. So I'm just gonna caulk. I'll shoot some white caulk under there. This is gonna be stable enough. I mean, I'm gonna have 3 inches of this or whatever, 2.5 inches of this. This thing's gonna be glued down solid with the PL glue over there on the tub that I'm gluing these things to the wall with. Don't use mortar, okay guys? Don't use mortar if you're gonna put tiles on the wall like that. Don't use mortar. Use PL glue. That's what's gonna stick to the wall. Mortar's not gonna stick. I mean, it'll stick for a little while, but it's not gonna last. This stuff is like liquid nails, of course, but this is the Loctite one. This is actually better than, so that's what I'm gonna glue this transition strip, this saddle transition, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm gonna glue that down to the floor with too. I'm not gonna mortar this down because this is gonna get stepped on a lot, and it's a skinny piece, and that's why if you ever been in houses or anything like that, that stuff is a little more forgiving. It's a little flex, so as the house is moving around or people are stepping on it, you know what I mean? If you mortar these stone pieces or marble pieces to the floor, what happens is as everything's expanding and contraction and your house is moving, they crack. All right, so use that glue under here. You can mortar down all your other tiles, that's fine. As you can see, these things are solid as a rock. But for this piece here, and you can see it's not finished on it. It's got like not a rough surface, but it's gonna hold, the glue's gonna hold this, okay? That PL glue is gonna hold this to the floor a whole lot better than mortar would. Because what's gonna happen is, if people kick it or whatever, if there's only tile mortar under there, it's gonna come loose or it's gonna crack or something. So PL glue that down and it'll be good for forever. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to change it later on, they're gonna have to smash it out. But hey, but that's how it's going here right now. I probably gotta fill that little, there's a screw hole right there I missed, so I have to fill that. I actually just hit all this. This is where my compound was the other day. As you can see, I sanded everything down and painted it. So this bathroom's coming out pretty good. It's gonna look really nice. But all right, this is gonna be a little short video. It's only about 13 minutes long. I'm trying to grout this whole floor today. It's late. I already did a job this morning and I was working till 1. As you see, I painted this room. I painted all this the first coat, okay? Now you see compound on the wall. Because now, after I painted my first coat, like I was saying in my other video, whatever spots looked really bad after I did my first coat of paint, I actually took and I took that bracket off the wall. I did this morning, actually, before I went to my other job. But as you see, I hit all those bad spots, the worst spots on the wall. One here, up there where they put big screws to hold their curtains. There's another spot there. I don't know. There's a few of them in here. But that's what I did. I painted my first coat, looked over the walls real good, put my lights on the wall, and whatever spots were really bad after my first compound and all the little screw holes, all the other little nicks and dents in the wall, or dripped paint from whoever painted this last time. I had to scrape some drip marks and roller marks, seeing some roller marks off the wall. And then I, obviously, like I said, I hit them all with compound again. So now I'll just sand those compound spots, okay? Before I paint the whole room the second coat, I'll hit all those compound spots first with my roller. So those will all have 3 coats. Those will all have actually 2 coats on them. And then if I gotta hit them again, just touch them up a little bit again with the roller. Then I'll do that. But I still have to paint this room too, which I'm gonna have painted tonight. So I gotta see in my compound spots. As you can see, that's not me. This is if you can see that there. All this is, look at all these drip marks on the wall. I mean, what could you do? That was whoever tenant or whatever that painted this. These walls were, well, you could see here. If I get close enough, now I got my light on my camera, so it's probably gonna kill my phone. But you see, there's all kinds of nasty stuff on these walls. Here's another little mark. You could only see it when I get close. Look at those walls are all, that's all dirt on the walls. See, now here you go. Here's a little, see this little nick right here that I missed the first time? So I'll hit that with compound too. You know, just to get the, here's another one. I mean, the more you look, and this is an apartment, like I said, the more you look, like look at, you can't see that. You can barely see that this way. If I come over here, now you can see all the marks on the walls. I'm not gonna go crazy, but, and then he needs a doorknob thing. As soon as I compounded that, this freaking door is off balance. Look at that. Boom. So as soon as I fixed the hole, I let the door go, and it banged right back into the wall. So I'm gonna get one of those plastic stick-on covers, where actually get them for this whole apartment. So behind every friggin' door, obviously there's no, oh, this one got a door stop, or you could put that there. Oh, look at that. But guess what? This isn't gonna work too well. As you can see, I just pulled this right out. Could be because this is freaking styrofoam. Look it, they already stuck a piece of wood in there to try to hold it. This is freaking styrofoam. Look at this. I could actually jab this into the freaking wall harder than it was screwed in, as you can see. That's freaking styrofoam baseboard crap. So that's all gonna get replaced anyway with wood, and then I'll put that door stop back in there. Whatever this guy wants to do. Alright, I'm gonna end this video, and I'll upload my video in a little while. I'm gonna grout this floor, put these borders on, grout everything, caulk and grout the tub. I'm actually gonna shoot caulk here first too. I'm gonna shoot caulk deep in there, put it in there with my fingers, get it deep in there with my finger, clean it off, and then I'm gonna grout over the top of it. So that's gonna be silicone under the grout there, and that'll be nice and watertight. Alright guys. Alright, here's what I was talking about now. Now you can see, I just caulked that, and I pushed all that caulk. Don't worry about that little bit of stuff that's gonna get in there, because that's just caulk temporarily. Because grout is going to actually go over the top of that now. And there's really nothing I could do about this old glue and all that garbage. I mean, I'll try to clean it up a little bit. I'm not really the cleaning lady, so he's going to probably have his wife come in here and clean the tub and clean. I mean, look at the size of the tub anyway. You can see this is my paint. That's my paint job there. And see all that paint all over the tub. This will actually come, I mean, I don't know why people are so lazy, but that will actually come off, as you can see. I'm just scraping this with my fingernail. I mean, some of it's on there pretty good, but that's what the tenants did. This side is pretty good here, but that's my paint. That's my cutting lines there, where it's nice and close to the side. I don't know what I'm probably gonna have to caulk this off, scrape that a little bit, caulk it. I mean, at least caulk it and make it look a little smoother than that, and then paint again. But I gotta do that with latex, because well, you could get silicone also. You could actually get paintable silicone caulk now. But you see, what I did was, after I caulked that, all of that, so I know my grout's gonna go down in there, Where is it? Hold on. I'll show you what I do. So I caulk that. What the heck did I just do with my putty knife? I just had a taping knife in my hand and I put it down. And now I can't find it. Did I drop it? Oh, here it is. Alright, so when I caulk that there, like that, all I do now is very carefully, so I don't take my caulk out, is I take my taping knife like this, and I just go back, you know, and I just take this and stick it in there, and I make sure that these lines right here are, see how I just did that and pulled that caulk out of there? Now I know when I grout, my grout is gonna go down in the hole, deep in there. So basically that's all you have to do. And don't worry about if you get a little caulk on the floor. This is a tile floor. Even silicone caulk will wipe right off. I actually wiped that down, believe it or not, with this rag after I put it on. Some silicone is water cleanup. So look for the silicone caulk that's water cleanup, because it's like the best stuff to use. It's actually water cleanup and paintable. This DAP one here. That's why I got it. So that's gonna work for there. Yep. That's how this job is going. Now I'll grout that in a few. I'm gonna grout this whole floor, and I'll show you how and I gotta grout all these tiles and stuff here. And I'll take another video of that. The end result, when I'm all done with this floor, I'll post the end result of this and show you how nice and clean all the lines are for what this looked like before. This was a huge mess. I mean, it's gonna look a million times better. And see how I did this? I did this opposite. See how this one, I got the full tile past the corner and ready for my next one, so my end piece is there. And then I did this one in that corner, so my end piece is there. Because you don't want it, you want it kind of to match the floor, every other one. Alright, I'm going to end this video right here and continue working. I'll upload this video in about an hour or two.